One of the key moments in the campaign to liberate Mosul was the battle for the town of Baha, located on the eastern outskirts of the city. Here, the Kurdish Peshmerga regiment known as the Green Eagles played a crucial role in freeing the area from ISIS fighters. Their well-coordinated offensive helped push the militants from their positions and regain control over this strategically important location. Commander Ibrahim was given a difficult and sensitive task: to oversee the evacuation of not only remaining ISIS fighters, but also local civilians who had supported or cooperated with them. This mission required not just tactical precision, but also political restraint. Any mistake could have triggered revenge attacks or chaos among civilians and rival groups. Ibrahim's goal was to prevent vigilantism and maintain order during the transition of power. The battle for Baha itself was one of the fiercest around Mosul. ISIS fighters resisted desperately, using suicide bombers, mines, and ambushes. Kurdish forces suffered heavy losses. 90 soldiers of the Green Eagles regiment were killed in action. This tragedy dealt a blow to the region, but also reinforced the determination to eliminate ISIS once and for all. The liberation of Baha became not only a military victory, but also a symbol of the sacrifice and courage shown by Kurdish fighters in their struggle for the future of their homeland. The Iraqi army announced the liberation of nearly the entire eastern part of Mosul from ISIS militants, marking a significant milestone in the campaign to reclaim the city. The operation to clear the eastern part of Mosul was intense and demanding, lasting a total of 94 days. The fighting involved close-quarters combat in densely populated urban areas, with Iraqi forces navigating narrow streets, destroyed buildings, and booby-trapped locations left by retreating militants. The complexity of the urban battlefield, combined with the presence of civilians, required Iraqi soldiers to proceed carefully to minimize casualties and avoid collateral damage. Despite these challenges, the determination and coordination of the Iraqi army, supported by coalition airstrikes and intelligence, allowed them to gradually push ISIS fighters out of key neighborhoods. The liberation of eastern Mosul not only dealt a heavy blow to ISIS's territorial hold, but also restored a sense of hope to many displaced residents who had endured months of hardship under militant rule. This success set the stage for subsequent operations aimed at retaking the western part of Mosul, which remained under ISIS control and presented its own unique challenges due to even denser urban environments and stronger enemy resistance. Nevertheless, the 94-day campaign in the east demonstrated the growing capability and resolve of Iraqi forces to reclaim their country and defeat ISIS. The role of the international coalition in the campaign to liberate Mosul from ISIS has become the subject of intense debate both within Iraq and internationally. Amid heavy fighting and a difficult humanitarian situation, growing concerns have emerged about the limits of what is acceptable in modern warfare, especially regarding coalition airstrikes. On one hand, the coalition, primarily composed of the United States, the United Kingdom, and France, plays a crucial role in supporting Iraqi and Kurdish forces by providing weapons, training, intelligence, and conducting airstrikes against militant positions. On the other hand, these very actions, particularly aerial operations, have been linked to civilian casualties that cannot be overlooked. According to reports by independent human rights organizations, one such airstrike targeting ISIS positions in a residential area on the outskirts of Mosul resulted in the deaths of at least 14 civilians. including women and children. This incident sparked public outcry and renewed criticism of the coalition's tactics. UN officials and humanitarian NGOs emphasize that even precision-guided munitions offer no full guarantee when militants deliberately hide among civilians. Coalition commanders, in response, insist they are doing everything possible to minimize collateral damage. Drone surveillance is used for reconnaissance. Strikes are planned with consideration for population density, and operations are closely coordinated with Iraqi forces and Peshmerga. Still, generals acknowledge that in the context of urban warfare, where ISIS fighters use schools, hospitals, and civilian homes as cover, completely avoiding civilian casualties is nearly impossible. The debate over the coalition's role carries not only military but also political weight. Analysts warn that even isolated incidents of civilian deaths can erode local trust in the international mission, weaken cooperation with regional allies, and offer ISIS powerful propaganda tools. For this reason, coalition leadership is increasingly discussing not only improving strike accuracy, but also ensuring greater transparency through public reporting, engagement with NGOs, and independent investigations. Ultimately, the controversy surrounding the coalition's actions is more than just an exchange of accusations. It reflects the deeper dilemma of modern warfare: how to defeat the enemy without losing the support of the very people the war is meant to protect. As the operation to liberate Mosul draws to a close, many coalition soldiers, particularly those from the British forces, are approaching the long-awaited end of their rotation, often referred to as a tour. Among them are 4 units, informally known as the 4 Rivals, due to a spirit of friendly competition that developed between them over the course of their deployment. Each unit took on a variety of demanding tasks: guarding the Al-Assad airbase, patrolling combat zones, training Iraqi and Kurdish soldiers, and providing logistical and intelligence support. Together, they completed hundreds of dangerous missions, endured sleepless nights, and faced critical moments where not only their lives, but the outcome of the broader campaign hung in the balance. Now, as their tour comes to an end, there is a mixture of exhaustion and pride. Pride in their country, their accomplishments, and the bonds they forged. For many, this was their first time operating in such a hostile environment, facing the reality of terrorism up close. Yet, despite the fear and loss, they stood firm. They recall not just the intense operations, but also the quieter, almost peaceful moments. Talks beside armored vehicles, helping the wounded, sharing meals with Kurdish allies, and meeting local children who were smiling again after years of fear. The word, home, comes up more and more in conversation. Soldiers write letters and messages to loved ones, dreaming of returning to a life without checkpoints, to silence instead of artillery, and to the children they left behind in service of their duty. But even as they prepare to leave, they understand that the experience in Iraq has changed them forever. Many say they've matured, gained perspective, and learned to appreciate life's simplest things. The end of a tour is more than just a logistical milestone. It's a moment of reflection. These soldiers leave behind not only their footprints in the dust of Al-Assad, but also a lasting impact on the allies they stood beside. Their return home is a personal victory, marked by meaning and the human cost they were willing to bear for others. Modern military campaigns differ significantly from those of the past, primarily due to the absence of clear-cut victories and defeats. In traditional wars, outcomes were often defined by territorial gains, enemy surrender, or a significant shift in the balance of power. Today, however, conflicts have become far more complex and prolonged, with blurred front lines and success becoming a relative concept. Modern campaigns frequently take place amid guerrilla warfare, hybrid threats, and conflicts involving multiple actors, including not only state armies but also terrorist groups, insurgents, and other irregular forces. In such conditions, the classical notions of victory or defeat lose their sharpness. Military operations focus more on containing threats, supporting stability, and minimizing harm to civilians. Additionally, modern operations require close cooperation with local communities and political structures, making these campaigns simultaneously military, political, and humanitarian missions. This demands commanders possess not only combat skills but also diplomatic abilities, flexibility, and the capacity to adapt to constantly changing environments. Thus, modern wars represent a complex set of challenges where victory is not always achieved through rapid defeat of the enemy but often through gradual restoration of control and the creation of conditions for long-term security. This fundamentally changes the approach to planning and conducting military campaigns in the 21st century.